This month, the collective energy is asking you to honor your body and really honor your body's wisdom. You know, what signals and signs is it telling you about what is in alignment and what isn't in alignment for you, especially around your relationships. It's time to honor that so that you can live a more balanced and aligned life. So here we are in April. We have just passed through eclipse season. I hope it's gone gently for you. I also hope it's been very transformative, which I have no doubt it has been. Eclipses are wonderful portals into a new way of being. And here we are in Aries season. So Aries is really, it's the beginning of the zodiac. So it's that time of new beginnings, of rebirth. And I guess the eclipse really set us up for that. We have seen, witnessed ways in which we want to create perhaps a new life or what we need to let go of so that we can live a life in alignment. And here we are now at this potent phase of moving forward. And so Aries is really about the self. You know, its keywords are I am. And it's really about courage, determination, initiative, just taking action on something, which can have, both positive and negative or challenging aspects as well. But it is that time for forward momentum. And we're also experiencing the Libra full moon. And Libra is really about seeking balance. So it's about balance and harmony. A big part of that is our relationships, because in order to have balance and harmony, it goes beyond ourselves, doesn't it? So it's a balance of giving and receiving, yin and yang, that kind of thing. And we've got to keep in mind that we have relationships not just with ourselves, although that might be highlighted at the moment because we're in Aries season, but we also have relationships with, we have obviously our intimate relationships, we have our friendships, we have our family, we have our work relationships. But we also have relationships with, say, our creativity or our body or our health or even our work. So we need to look at all of these relationships. And right now, the collective energy is really asking you, what is being reflected back to you? What is the universe telling you about your relationships? And I sense that you probably are already aware or have become aware in the last couple of months throughout eclipse season of what might be out of balance in your relationships or in a particular area of your relationships. So, really right now, what the collective energy is asking to transform this for the new earth is to honor how your body feels. So have you noticed in your relationships or in this particular area that you're aware of, how does your body feel? Does it feel open? Does it feel contracted? What signals? These are really important messages that your body is trying to tell you. It has the wisdom that you seek. When we try to make our choices from our mind, it's not always going to be something that's in alignment. So when we're honoring our body's wisdom, when we're honoring these signals from our body, and often we've actually learnt to ignore these signals. Often they're really bad habits that we created when we were younger. Perhaps our needs weren't being met by our family, by our caretakers, and therefore we dismissed what our actual signals were from our body, and we did something to try and gain love, or to please somebody else in order to create that harmony in that relationship or to avoid conflict or something like that. So really it's important for us to honor, especially if you're watching this, I doubt that you're a child. So really at this time, I ask you to honor what messages your body is signaling to you. And look, let's just take a moment to drop in and just feel into an area in your life that you're aware of or that you're becoming aware of, in your relationships. As I say, it could be your intimate, it could be any number of relationships. It could be that you're working too much and that relationship is out of balance. But what is feeling out of balance, or which relationship is feeling out of balance for you? And really, I guess just consider what is no longer in alignment in that relationship or in the way that you do that relationship, be it with that individual or with others or with that particular area or with other areas. Like, what is no longer in alignment? And I speak to this as a behavior of your own. So is it about people pleasing? Is it about trying to override a fear, and maybe you're working too much because you're feeling uncomfortable or vulnerable, so you keep working to kind of not feel those things. Just watching and witnessing what is out of alignment and what your body is signaling to you. So I have checked in with the collective, and we're being asked to take note of, there's 2 acupoints, because there's 2 meridians, one on either side of the body, that the stomach meridian runs basically through the body here, through the center of our body, over the nipples. And it's the point just beneath the nipples that is basically the next rib, the intercostal space, just under the next rib, under the nipples. And you can either hold it, or actually, you might even like to not touch and just feel into that area about this particular relationship, and just witness some of the signals that your body is giving you, particularly around, and it makes sense, it's around the heart area, it's around that space where we might feel open or contracted. But when you think of this particular relationship, and just notice if you're where it's feeling out of alignment, you might feel a contraction, or what else are you actually feeling in your body at this time when you think of that relationship. And I invite you to consider what habit needs to change for you around that relationship. Like, what do you need to do differently in order to make a shift so that you're not feeling that contraction, so that you're honoring your body's signals? And maybe first and foremost, it is about slowing down and honoring your body's signals. In Aries season, we can get in the go, 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 go. And, it's this drive to get stuff done. And actually, particularly for us here in the Southern Hemisphere, we're starting to wind down our daylight hours. We're heading into winter. And that is a time where we don't want to be surging forward too much. We actually want to take more time out for ourselves. So just feel into that for a moment, and recognizing first and foremost that relationship with yourself. And what vulnerability are you noticing if you were to really honor it and be truthful with yourself? What are you seeking, like, by going against what you're like, by going against honoring your body's wisdom? So if you're feeling a contraction yet you keep heading towards that relationship, what is it that you're actually overriding? And as I say, chances are there's a vulnerability. It may be that you're feeling lonely, or you're afraid that if you let a certain relationship, a friendship go, or whatever, that you might not have anything else to fill the space. Feel into what it is for you, but just take a moment, maybe closing your eyes down. If you're sitting or standing, just feeling your feet connected to the earth, and just feeling into the area around the heart and that chest space, around this stomach 18 space, and just really noticing what your body is trying to tell you in this moment, what the energy is like for you around this relationship. Because there is a strength in the vulnerability. Sometimes we don't go into it because it feels vulnerable, but there can be great wisdom and great strength in vulnerability. And really what I believe we're being called to right now is to honour our own needs first. And we have talked a little bit about this in previous months, so there is a bit of a building theme here. But this is really time for action. It's really time to come back to the self and thinking about your relationship with yourself first and foremost, and honouring your needs and making sure that you're giving yourself the love that potentially you're seeking externally, so that you are starting with self-love and honouring whatever that signal from your body is, even if it's just a matter of being with it. And then once you make that choice and be really discerning in that choice of self-love, it could be to rest, it could be to say no to something you're being asked to do from someone, it could be just about even withdrawing completely from a particular group of people or a particular person, a particular relationship, just to really give yourself that sense of self-love and to really uplift your own energy. And sometimes it doesn't feel easy, but know that you're not alone. You know, you have the earth supporting you. You have the great source of divine love supporting you. So this is the time the collective is asking for, how we can really transform these collective energies for the new earth is about giving yourself that true sense of love, honoring your body's wisdom, about guiding you towards what self-love is in that relationship. And I just want to give you a little bit more information just about the energy at the moment. So we actually have the sun in gate 42. So this is our Aries energy. And gate 42 is really about a time to honor endings. You know, it's time for a new beginning or a new phase to evolve. So it's about honoring cycles. And the other important thing is that we also have Chiron conjunct the sun at the moment. So this is really amped up. I mean, Chiron is our wounded healer. So it's kind of that soul wound that you're journeying with throughout your lifetime might be highlighted right now. And I think for many of us of this generation, it is around themes of self-love. You know, it's themes around honoring our body's wisdom, honoring our emotions, and feeling safe to do that. So if you're honoring endings and there's a new phase beginning around this, just to take it a little bit deeper, the shadow of gate 42 is expectation. So this is where we can be caught in the mind and caught in desire. And it's kind of like when we have an expectation, it'll set us up for disappointment. So rather than just witnessing things for as they are and going with the flow of things, you know, if you can see that something is no longer working and seeing that it's time, it's played its course for you. So it's time to actually let that go. And knowing that that is the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for others at this time. And just recognizing that the gift in gate 42 is the gift of detachment. So as I say, it's really about stepping back, being objective and not being attached to a particular outcome or a particular outcome with a particular person or a particular, thing about work or whatever that is, but just kind of being more objective and taking a bit of an observer perspective and really surrendering to what is, not just what you want it to be. And that again is part of that signaling from the body. If you really were to allow yourself to attune to your body's wisdom, it will guide you. You know, it's not about trying to kind of swim against the rapids. It's literally about, like, you can't stop the chaos if there's chaos going on right now. It's about learning to shift that perspective and just kind of ride that wave. And so that's the sun aspect. But also what's illuminated right now is our moon is in gate 32. And this is really about our instinct and survival. So the shadow there is a fear of failure. And I just want to sort of say that, there is no such thing as failure. There are lessons, there are blessings that come from things, and often it's not until we're in hindsight that we can see that. But there are stepping stones as well. So nothing is actually truly a failure. It's all about our perspective. So if you're preventing yourself from making a choice, be it to leave that job, be it to leave that relationship, be it to show up in your full, true, authentic self and set some boundaries in your relationships, then, know that you can't fail. You can't fail in self-love. And the gift of gate 32 is around preservation. And it's really about, in that sense of being discerning, recognizing what is to keep and what is to let go of. What has still got fertile energy for you, and what is really, what the energy has been, it's been done, it's gone. It no longer is fertile for you. And again, for us here in the Southern Hemisphere, it's a really potent time to start really honouring this phase of letting go, this phase of the leaves are starting to drop from the trees, and the trees know when to let go. The trees know when something is done. So release what has expired right now and just trust that that is the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for others. So we'll just see if there's anything else the collective wants us to go into. Okay. All right, so there's something around past life energy that many of us are actually transmuting at the moment, you know, and often it's this past life cellular memory that is stuck in the body. So, you know, it could be something around feeling powerless. It could be something around poverty, jealousy. Just the only way to truly transmute it is to feel into the energy and just let it be. You know, because if you don't tune into the energy, it's going to call a little bit louder for your attention. It might start being a pain somewhere in the body, or it might give you an accident so that you are forced off your feet to rest and listen and pay attention. So, you know, what if some of these lessons related to the body are actually that cellular memory from the past, just asking to be released, asking for you to finally feel it and perhaps shift a pattern, stop that people pleasing, or stop, you know, putting others' needs ahead of your own. And it's time to come back to self-love, to self-honoring, to that discernment in your choices that really honors that wisdom of your body. So trust your body's wisdom and honor it. It's really giving you the message about what's done and possibly even about what's coming next. We might not be at that phase just yet. You know, right now there has been a lot of letting go, and we've still got some Piscean remnants, even though we are in Aries season. So trust what is done and allow yourself that grieving process if that's part of the process too. But really, most importantly, honor your body. It is wise. It is loving, and it wants you to live a life of alignment, but you have to be discerning, and you have to be the one that honors that first and foremost, and then others will go ahead and feel that vibration of you honoring your body, and they will honor your body and your needs as well. So wishing you so many blessings at this time. Please, I'd love to hear, you know, if you've got something specific that you're letting go of, what's transmuting for you right now. I'd really love to hear in the comments, so please share with me. Wishing you blessings ahead.